પછી આવે એટલે આપણે તરત આને નહીં હવે થઈ ગયું સાથે જ આને હું મિનિમાઇઝ કરી દઉં કેવી રીતે હા હું આને કહીશ તો આ મેસેજ બેમાંથી એકે આવશે Please keep your video off, Mr. Parthiv Parmar.
जब मैडम बोलेगी तो सब हमें सुनाई पड़ता रहेगा ऐसे अगर बीच में किसी को इंस्ट्रक्शन दे रही है तो सारे
Madam, your voice is very clear to us.
Okay, ma'am. When someone is speaking,
yes,
and if you have to give any instructions, then your voice will be audible to all.
Actually, I have to interrupt if there is someone else presentation is going on or someone's speech is going on. But after completion of my part, I will switch off my microphone. So sound noise from my side also not interrupt during the whole session.
This is sir's address is over. After that, again I have to thank him. So again I have to present.
Okay, ma'am. I will not announce anything. You just start after VC sir's address.
Presentation now.
Okay. And after you thanks from you, I will introduce today's speaker.
Over to Dr. Archana.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Live streaming shuru kiya hai.
Yes, I have started live streaming because the technical person expert over here told me that you better start
Yes,
it right now.
YouTube पर कर दूं? हाँ वो तो है। उनको बोल देते हैं ये लोग देख सकते हैं फिर बैठे हुए
But after completion of my part,
yes.
I will switch off my I can, yes. Sound noise from my side also not interrupt during the whole session.
साहब को बोल दो अगर देखना है तो साहब रख लेंगे अपने पास साहब के मोबाइल में चालू कर देंगे तो चलते हैं
Link forward कर दो सर।
लिंक फॉरवर्ड कर
Ma'am, is there Bhatt sir present?
But sir was I had asked him to present and we had joined him with his email.
He has been added as a
He
guest.
has been added as a guest.
Yes, ma'am.
विशेष सर का मैसेज फोन आ रहा है क्या कहूँ 5 minutes में
Yeah.
या 2 minutes में
We are ready.
Yeah. Hello sir. Sir, yes sir, we are. जी सर ओ सर को अलाउ कर दीजिए
But I
सर को
don't.
अलाउ
Actually, I am not getting his notification.
सर को अलाउ कर दीजिए यस सर सर जस्ट अलाउ सर जस्ट उनका बोल रहा है सर को बोल दीजिए मैंने मैसेज करा है उसमें वो लिंक पे दबाएंगे वो चालू हो जाए
वो एक कर दिया
तो आप उनको ज्वाइन करने के लिए बोल रहे कि आस्किंग समवन टू टेक मी इन।
नहीं देगा, आप सभी का मैंने ऐसे गेस्ट किया है।
CN
हाँ वो एक
उनको डन। वेलकम सर।
Namaste, Randavel.
Yes sir, welcome to you sir.
I am very much clear. When you have to start, you just tell me.
Yes sir, we are almost ready. If you participate and especially the presenters, we are waiting for them to join. The rest of the people are already. Yes, madam, we can start now.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Okay. Shall I start, ma'am?
Ma'am, welcome.
Uh, Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Chetan Trivedi, sir. Respected Principal Dr. Ranjana Agarwal, ma'am. Our resource persons from different institutes and universities. My colleague, friends, all the HODs of different departments, and dear friends and dear students. On behalf of Bowdin Science College, I welcome you all on this webinar series that we uh, arranged during this 5 days from 15th June to 19th June on career opportunities in the various fields of science, path to my future beyond classroom for particularly students. First of all, I would like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Chetan Trivedi sir for being present in this webinar series. Uh, Sir, your presence is very encouraging for us, and we are very thankful for your support and encouragement. I also like to thank our principal, Dr. Ranjana Agarwal, ma'am, for approving this idea of webinar within a day and give us immense support to conduct it. Uh, my I always thank to my colleague coordinators who work day and night, and without them I think it would not have been possible to make it happen. Uh, as we all know, Bowdin Science College is one of the oldest and one of the best colleges of Gujarat. And they are always, the tradition of this college is uh, always make students uh, and facilitate students for their career. So, as the part of this tradition and continuing this tradition, we came with this webinar series for students of pure sciences and the students who want to make their career in pure sciences. Uh, and for their betterment of, we organize this webinar series. Now, without taking much time, I request our principal ma'am, Dr. Ranjana Agarwal, to give welcome address.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, Dr. Kajal. Going to the goddess Saraswati, I wish a very good afternoon to all of you. Namaskar. I, Dr. Ranjana Agarwal, Principal of Baudin Government Science College, Junagadh, welcome you all on the 5 days webinar series on career opportunities in various fields of science organized by the college. First of all, I heartily welcome our patron and guide, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Bhaktkavi Narsi Mehta University, Junagadh, Dr. Chetan Trivedi, a man of literature. He is not only an academician but a very motivating and inspiring personality for the students' fraternity. Vice Chancellor Sir always encourages novel ideas in the field of academics and other activities as well for the all-round development of students. He works very hard with a definite vision and mission to take the university to a greater height. I thank him for sparing his valuable time to motivate us all in this webinar. Welcome you, sir. Once again, I welcome you. I would also like to welcome our panelists, Sri Hitesh Davisa, Senior Research Scientific Investigator in GSK Pharma plus GlaxoSmithKline Pharma R&D Division, UK, for his address in the field of bioscience. Welcome you, sir. We will be meeting him shortly after some time. Dr. Kesur Ram, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, Sardar Patel University, Vallabh Anand, whom we will be meeting tomorrow. Dr. Milan Kumar Kansagra, Assistant Professor of Mathematics from Kotak Institute of Science, Rajkot, who will be addressing on 17th June. Dr. Neha Ansari, Assistant Professor from Gujarat Forensic Science University, Gandhinagar, will meet us on 18th June. And Dr. Tushar Pandya, Associate Professor of Physics from St. Xavier's College, Ahmedabad. He is the Additional Secretary of Gujarat Science Academy too. I heartily welcome all of you, sir, and will be with Tushar Pandya sir on 19th of June on the final day of seminar. I welcome all the participants who have joined us on GMeet as well as live on YouTube. I'm sure that the series will be very beneficial and will give insight into career opportunities for all. I would like to say something about my college. Baudin Science College is more than 100 years old college imparting science education at graduation level, especially bachelor degree course in forensic science. Many quality students have come out of the college who are successfully settled in their fields. Science is a necessity in all walks of life. Pure science education at graduation level lays the foundation stone for future building. This is the time for great competition and a large arena of opportunities is open for students where they can shine apart from the traditional regular fields. They may venture into the new path with new enlightenment through this webinar. In this time of pandemic, Then, I would like, before this, I would like to say many of our science graduate alumni have performed out of the box in the fields of administration, judiciary, health, forest, law and order, and even politics. They have played a very responsible role in their respective fields. So, in this time of pandemic, when digital teaching is a necessity, it is a boon to as to connect with a larger group of students and participants simultaneously and have the benefit of guidance from expert resource persons from various fields. Uh, Recently, the college had also conducted an online quiz on our biodiversity just to create awareness about environmental issues. Similarly, we all know it very well that KCG has been conducting a long series of 45 days on finishing the school project for the students. This time, uh, thus there may be many out of the box novel opportunities in random fields as every disaster is an opportunity, especially for science students. We are noticing that virtual platforms have developed these days. Science can support in any branch, medical or allied branches or any other field as well. I congratulate all the coordinating faculty of college, Dr. Archana Gajar, Dr. Chandresh Dave, Dr. Hiten Kanani, Dr. Manoj Dhadu, and all those who have contributed in organizing the webinar. Here, we have a large group of young minds, our students as our participants, who will be braining their minds with queries. They can send their request in chat box, which will be attended for their satisfaction. I wish everyone very safe and healthy life ahead and wish for the success of the webinar. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, I invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Trivedi Sahab, for his valuable address. Welcome, sir. Welcome to. Namaskar, Trivedi sir. Sir, namaskar.
Very good afternoon to all of you.
Thank you.
I am very pleased to see that one of the oldest institutes of this region, Baudin Science College, have had a great heritage and history, tremendous contribution to the field of academics, society, and humanitarian values to the addition of the human values. So I'm very happy to see this is a series of webinar on career opportunities. I especially congratulate the leader, Principal Dr. Ranjana Ben, along with the able, stable, and capable team. Without the support of team, such activities are not possible. So, as a teamwork, and since the teachers and the faculty members of Baudin Arts and Science Colleges are always been a hard worker, result oriented, committed, dedicated, devoted, and they are the charm of the university. That's why we are very happy that this institutions has taken up a lead. Some days back, same thing has been done by Veeraval Science College. So university is already doing such activities since long. We have had done more than 14 to 15 webinars and connected more than 2 lakhs students through university platform. And now I can see the improvement that has reached to the lower level. And now colleges have started doing such activities. This is a wonderful use of time. That is the positive use of coronical things. And we have used this coronical education in a proper manner. I take a serious note of the experts, those who are coming in the new coming days. Hitesh Bhai, Dave, Mr. Ram, Mr. Milan Bhai, Neha Ben, Tushar Bhai, and other experts, they will come and join us. I also can see the senior teachers and the faculty members of Baudin College and other colleges. And there are so many participants, those who have been connected with us through this Google Meet and YouTube Live, and probably maybe through Facebook Live also. They are connected with us. So being a Vice Chancellor of the university, I congratulate this entire webinar series. And I hope this webinar will definitely, the title is very suggestive. When I was going through the title, it is webinar series on career opportunity, my path to my future beyond classroom. When you are showing a hope of path to future, and that is beyond classroom. Now, as on now, we have started this all with the first lockdown. We were never aware of so many new words like Zoom, WebEx, quarantine, home quarantine, corona, sensitization, sanitizer. There are so many new things that we have all learned. Along with that, there are so many people who were unaware. Mute your mic, unmute your mic. Please do not share your screen while somebody is talking. So there are several new things that we all have learned. In part of that, this online platform. Right now, I was busy in the other meeting. Right then, suddenly after that, I'm in the middle of you. We all are having a different locations, and then even we all are at the same platform. So this is a real definition of globalization, and we all have to make ourselves globally competent. So this global competency will come through such kind of programs and webinars. In fact, this corona has damaged a lot to the economy, society, mental status of the people. But Education Department of Government of Gujarat, under the able leadership of our Honorable Cabinet Minister Sri Bhupendra Singh Chudasama Sahib and Anju Sharma Madam, we have had a series of webinars in almost all universities, and we have provided several platforms to the students community. We are also going to apply online education on next 22nd for our students. In fact, we have postponed our examination that is supposed to start from 25th of this month, but we have postponed this exam because of this present day epidemic and fearful conditions. But students have started learning. I know such webinars are a real epitome or real kind of the addition to their understanding and knowledge. And the experts that we are unable to meet, they are coming with us very easily. So that is also one way. And at last, I don't have to speak much because it is all about opportunity development. And it is all about an open platform and open learning. There are so many things available in the market. The role of a right teacher is to direct the right thing to the students. And the direction of the right thing to the right person will convert into the right result. And that will be the right decision. And that's why your path finding, you have to make your bright future. And nobody can do anything for you. Ultimately, we will find a way. Every student has to be the creator of his own destiny. हम लोग जो करते हैं, हमें ही अपना काम करना होता है, खुद को अपने साथ बनाना पड़ता है. तो इसी जिम्मे के साथ सब स्टूडेंट्स इसमें जुड़ेंगे, और जो भी स्टूडेंट्स आज इसमें जुड़े हैं, इस सभी स्टूडेंट्स को मैं बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं. और इस 2-4-5 दिन का जो वेबिनार सीरीज है, some days back we all have been in habit of watching web series on Amazon Prime and Netflix. In the same manner and the same passion, we have webinar series. So I really appreciate the selection of the title also. When a person from literature is coming, they always show their gist of literature. So I can see the sense of literariness in the selection of title also. And at last, I would like to end my speech with some of the lines of American poet Robert Frost. That is also matching to your title. He says, "Woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep." With the same spirit, I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your motivating speech, address, and motivating the team, and participation of the students. And it is for your view of preparing them for global competency. It's a way of being globalized. And these webinars and digital teaching will be the part of our curriculum and our teaching method nowadays. And we are very much sure that our Bowden Science College will take the lead in imparting education in the new form. It is truly the direction to the right path by the right guides, and we are sure with your guidance we are ready to go miles before we come to the destination. Thank you very much, sir, for motivating us. Now over to Dr. Kachal for webinar.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Trivedi sir, for your really very encouraging words. Uh, Really, it gives us uh, inner support, sir. I really thankful for that. Now we are going to the our main component of this webinar series. That let me introduce first our speaker from biological sciences, Mr. Hitesh Dave. Mr. Hitesh Dave is a zoologist. He completed his BSc in zoology from Gujarat University and MSc also in zoology from Gujarat University with his specialization of uh, endocrinology and physiology and also biomedical technology. He also completed his MSc in applied toxicology and pathology, particularly pharmaceuticals, hospital sectors, and chemical industries from University of Surrey, United Kingdom. He uh, presently pursuing his PhD in international health in children and maternal health from Gujarat University, Ahmedabad. Uh, he worked as senior research scientist in Torrent Pharmaceuticals Limited for more than 6.5 years. Uh, currently, he is uh, uh, currently he is a senior research scientific investigator, research and development in GlaxoSmithKline Pharmaceuticals, United Kingdom, since last 14 years, and he worked many years. He spends his half the age, we can say, in the field of pharmaceuticals. And he headed several projects in UK, in Asia, and in South Africa. So I think we should listen from him more rather than me. So over to Mr. Hitesh Dave. So please.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Rachna, for coordinating and inviting me to this webinar. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Chetan Trivedi, Honorable BC sir. This is great, encouraging words. I just love that. Some of the words which you said, like we need to go miles and miles before we reach to destination. Like some of this encouragement, I think is a true sign of the leader, great leader. And thank you, Principal Ma'am, Ranjana Ma'am. I think your team, what Dr. Chetan said, is really kind of truly capable, and there is no borders for any education now. So it looks like, I think it's good. We all part of one community, wherever we lives, it doesn't matter. So I'll just start my slide. Welcome all students. Kem છો? Jai Girnar. Majama, Gujarat. So I'll start showing my screen. And I'm sure, I think people can see. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, Okay, that's great. Thank you very much again. The webinar opportunities, the career opportunities, it says paths to my future beyond classroom. I completely agree with VC sir. Whatever you can't see within classroom, you need to see beyond classroom, and this kind of webinars which will give two directional learning, so even we learn as well as a speaker. And I'm happy that next 4 days we're going to have really great professors and speakers speaking on these particular subjects, on their particular expertise. So I'm going to speak more onto the perspective of biology. However, I'll include the other subjects as well somewhere over the line. So for all the students, I'm not going to take much time, maybe 25 minutes, 30 minutes. And this next 25, 30 minutes will be really helpful to everyone who is attending and listening, because science is just a simple science, magic. And I can just go with the slide. Of course, Dr. Rachna, ma'am, introduced already, but I just want to kind of make sure I'll just give that flashback that I am still from part of Gujarat University. I have worked there in Gujarat for 6.5 years, studied there. I'm studying there with collaboration with Gujarat University, South Africa, and UK Gsk. I've worked with various corporates, with Torrent Pharma, currently with GSK R&D. Worked in South Africa with one of the NGO as a project manager. And I'm part of Royal Society of Biology UK as a member and chartered biologist and chartered scientist. So there are a few kind of career aspirations. It's all about, I feel, again, if you decide something to do, nothing gonna stop you. So for students, I think this particular slide is not just to show you how or where you can go, but there is no boundaries. That's what I'm just trying to say. And my next slide would be the agenda. So as you can see in the picture, my presentation will have a lot of pictures. So hopefully people won't get bored. I know it's the evening time and people might get sleep. So a lot of pictures. This particular image represents the career path. The career path would be a bit kind of bumpy. You can see there are various directions you need to go. You need to think. But two things really important is passion. You need to have passion, whatever you want to do. So passion is really important. And second thing is vision. So you need to have vision, what you want to do. So people have dreams. So you should be dreaming. However, that vision, you need to only achieve by working hard towards that vision. So agenda would be, I'll show what is pharmaceutical R&D looks like, what are the processes in the pharmaceutical R&D. Just to tell you, I mean, if the students not familiar, pharmaceuticals means they produce medicines. They make medicines for better life. Safety assessment. So it is part of pharmaceutical R&D. It is one of the big department, big, huge area of the pharmaceutical R&D where the sciences, biological sciences like zoology, toxicology, pathology, microbiology, chemistry, biochemistry, various subjects helps here. I'll just, in a couple of slides, I'll describe about the current unmet disease as well, where this is helpful. And these three areas, zoology, toxicology, pathology, these are the main subjects because I got my expertise in these subjects throughout the years. So I'll kind of try to add the little bit knowledge on these subjects. I know, means your professors are really talented and they will tell you more details about the objects, but I'll just try to show you where it's applied in the industries or outside the academic world. So GSK, I would like to thank GSK as well. Means over 14 years working with GSK. If you don't know GSK, you can see the products. There are various products that are familiar now, and you can easily relate. Oh, this is GSK. They do they do Horlicks, they do Ardex, they do a lot of medicines. Work here, and I'm really proud being GSKN. So this slide, I just try to focus here that why science and why it's important. So and where it is important. So of course, last 3.5 months we have seen science is big in the business because of the COVID-19.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Actually, we could not see your slide. Please share your student. Please don't share your screens.
Can you see the slide?
No, we can see you, sir.
Oh, okay. Wait. So you haven't seen any slide?
No, we have seen few
the agenda
from
slide?
the yes, first, second or third slide. But after that path image, that mountain image.
Let me start.
I
can you see now?
humbly request all the students, please don't share your screen.
Can you see now?
No.
Okay. Can you see anything?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So you can see slide now.
Yes, now. Yes. Go ahead.
Yep. Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks, Dr. Archana, for pointing that out, because I don't want to just go ahead and without any kind of background for you guys. So, can you see this slide, which says science and its importance?
Yeah, following the science in the COVID-19
pandemic.
Okay,
great. Yeah. So just the previous slide was more onto the agenda, and I just wanted to make sure I'll just show you around what is pharma R&D looks like, and what are the processes it takes. Safety assessment is one of the huge part of the pharma R&D, and which are the subjects of the biological sciences are helpful in safety assessment. So I would like to cover that. I'll just touch on this current unmet disease, where people will, or the students will, understand the importance of the biology. And these three subjects, zoology, toxicology, and pathology, I'll try to kind of add a little bit applied knowledge here on these slides to make sure the students will connect these subjects to the outside world of the academics. So the next would be the GSK. What is GSK? So with this slide, you will realize that there are a lot of products, and it's clearly kind of relate that, okay, these are the GSK products, and what GSK does with the consumer and with the pharmaceuticals, where they make medicines. Now, science and its importance. So why science is important? And we have seen in last 3 months following this COVID-19 pandemic, the science is back in the business. People understand the importance of science, and at the left bottom you can see the blog post where it says the UK government policy last 3 months was mainly following science. Whether it's a lockdown, lifting the lockdown, doing anything within the COVID-19, it's ultimately results of the science. So science is important. Each and every one we have experienced globally in last 3 months. On the left top, you can see the cancer survival rates, which was in 1970 to 2018, which was double cancer survival in the last 40 years. So you can see, just because of the invention, because of the R&D, because of the pharma, because of this upliftment on the science, you can see these results. On the right bottom, life expectancy in UK. which is increased from 1960 to 2016. You can see in 10 years it has been significantly increased, and people live longer, do better life because of medicines and vaccines which have helped. So this is where the basic of science and why it's important. So if you, as you all students are in the science field, you have done the right step. Okay, now this particular slide, I know everyone can see each and every detail of the slides, which is very clearly visible, but I know you don't have to read each and everything. This is whole pharma R&D processes. So you can see there's a lot out there, and each and every sentence, whatever it says, it's very tiny, but whatever it says is important for the human being or human life. And each subject of the biological sciences or any field of the science are they kind of participate here to fulfill the process. Now I'll just zoom in and you will find out this particular stage. So for students might not be have knowledge about how much time it takes to make one medicine or build the process for the one medicine. So that's how it takes 12 to 15 years to get one medicine. So now people were panicking. Our government is not doing anywhere in the global. WHO is not doing anything for COVID-19, but now you can understand it's not easy. It's not easy to make vaccine. It's not easy to get new medicine. And if it's a novel disease like corona, the virus and COVID-19, it takes time. Not this many years it will take, but it takes little time. So drug discovery takes 4 to 5 years, which has around 5 to 10,000 candidates. Candidates means the molecules, the drugs, the chemical structures they select. The next around 5 to 6 years, they filter those candidates to 10 to 20 candidates. That's a preclinical testing, which is safety assessment, where they use the help of the animals and then they try to go further to test these candidates. After that, there are 3 phases of the clinical trials. And this clinical trials is divided into 4 phases. The 4th phase is the marketing phase. And this clinical trials where they try on the humans, they try once the dose and everything, the drug, the medicine is safe in the animals, and with all the in vitro testings done, they try to put that into the human to show whether it's effective and whether it's safe. So these are the 2 important things. So it takes remaining years and for the approvals, regulatory submissions, and then medicine available to the patient. So now you understand the pharmaceutical R&D or the medicine development, it's not one-day job. Okay.
Please, sir, please again share your screen, as students are sharing their screen in between. So
so maybe that's the reason. I think it just
your screen.
Okay, that's fine. You can see now?
Yes. I mean, it is
okay.
In the, yeah.
Yep. Can you see now?
Right.
So, were you able to see the slide before this one?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah. So I was talking about how many years it takes. So it takes 12 to 15 years, maybe 20 years, and then after you make medicine, you need to do the regulatory filings, submissions to the Food and Drug Administrations. Various countries has various drug administrations bodies, regulatory bodies, and then you get the patent to run the business. Okay, so this is again the chevron of that particular pharma R&D, where as I mentioned, the molecules, there are many molecules, many candidates. They try to select first, and they do the target validation. So chemistry, lot of chemistry is useful here. including maths as well. And then after the target validation, they commit to the target. They find the lead candidate for the discovery. So, and the lead candidate would be 5 to 10, as I was mentioning in the previous slide. They optimize the lead. They try to kind of make sure that particular molecule, chemical molecule, is try to be well soluble in the kind of various solvents and everything. So they try all the chemistry here, which is whether it's organic or inorganic. And then next comes to preclinical evaluation. So once they've optimized the lead, they have this 3, 4, 5, or 10 candidates or 10 molecules to go further into preclinical, where they try to test on the animals. They try to see in vitro. In vitro is the outside on the petri dishes. So they try to see those things on the preclinical evaluation. They find out whether those leads are safe, are effective, and whether it has really good safety margin to go into the humans. So just giving example here, maybe I might give an example in the next slide, but the next is the human phases, where phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and then they registered and launch the medicine, the product. So what is the process? As I did mention, so initially, you need to formulate the hypothesis. So a lot of literature search, a lot of readings, a lot of paper writing, understanding the disease. So if it's COVID-19, understand the disease, what it happens, where it's actually hitting. So respiratory system is a major target for COVID-19. So they try to understand the biology, where the problem is. Epidemiology. They try to do genetic analysis. They try to search what's available in the market. Cell biology. They study cell biology in deep. Bioinformatics nowadays to find out connecting the computers together and find out the codings and stuffs to see the biology of this particular system, omics and etc. Then they test the hypothesis. So they've decided some kind of hypothesis that this is the route we're gonna treat, and it's affecting on the, say, COVID-19 example, affecting on the respiratory system, where exactly what it's doing. So that particular virus, it drops the particles, it's unbreakable in the lungs, and that's where the problem is. People can't breathe, and it's kind of very strongly kind of mutated within the lungs as well, and that's one of the reason it doesn't take much time for people to kind of leave the world. So that's the example. But this is what testing, cell-based assays. So they try various assays to find out what's happening. They think about the tool compounds, RNAs, DNAs, sequencing. They see what's available. So 12 in 10th and 12th, people have studied about the DNA, RNA, transcriptomics, and a lot of things. So this is important here. So now you understand that where it's helpful. They try to see on the genetically altered animals. So a lot of laboratories, they now use the animals not as same as they get. They try to genetically modify the animal to find out the particularly interest or the gene sequence, or to challenge the disease models. And why they do that? It's because to reduce the animals, make sure they refine the process, and further help the biology. So, can you see this screen still?
Yes. Yes, we can
Hello?
see. Yes, it is visible.
Okay. Yeah, it just lifted. So I thought I'll double check. Okay, thank you. So the next is target validation. So what happens is they test the hypothesis, and the next point is they validate the target. So that's again preclinical. As I said, safety assessment. What they do is assess the safety assessment. It does make sense. So assess the safety of the drugs, whether it's safe. So they try to see the animals, because It's not possible to test on humans. Now, animals, of course, you get laboratory mouse, laboratory rats, dogs. They won't get, obviously, you can't test on camels or elephants. It's not possible, right? In the labs. So they try to see the human biological system are similar to the particular animals, and they try to test on that. And they find out does this drug work in humans? Okay, now as you see on the right side the picture, lot of things it explains: organisms, cells, species, DNA, basic systems, living, what are the selection that they study the life. So their selection, there is a selection checklist for the target to identify. So does your target address a significant unmet medical need? So whether it's required or is already available. So you don't get the medicine which is already available and you try to use animals and do all these things again. If something is really genuine and needed, then you do it.
Sir,
Then
sorry to interrupt you again.
no problem.
Please share your
Yep.
screen.
Sure. That's fine. No problem. Don't worry.
Who is this Prithvi Dodia? You continue, please.
Okay. So you can see now screen, right? Yep. Can you confirm? You can see the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So and then they try to see that whether there is a medical need that is really challenge, like COVID-19. Of course, there was no medicine, no treatment. So the whole world, all the scientists, all the labs, they try to kind of work together in collaboration, like GSK working with AstraZeneca, University of Cambridge, and University of Oxford, and we working together on this vaccine. So same in US as well, same in India. The Pune lab, they're working together with Oxford. So there are when the unmet medical need, the need comes, people try to work together because ultimately we thinking about the human life. So they try to see the target validation data from the literature. Is there any validation data is already available? So you don't need to validate. They see the genetic evidence, transgenic or human. Is there a simple set of experiments available? Then is your target tractable? Means if you can't track the target, it's really hard to kind of administer something. So if you don't want something to get the dose, and then you kind of not able to track at all what's happening in the body. Is there a cell culture or animal model available, or can you build one? Is there a clear clinical development plan you have? Is there a clear regulatory submission strategy? Because you've done everything 15 years, 18 years job, and you kind of research some molecule or drug or medicine, and you say, oh, wow, we got the new medicine, and then you don't have the regulatory submission strategy right, and then regulators will not register your product. So each and every point, you need to think about science. Again, where is the competition? You don't want that you working 15 years, someone else, your competitor working as well, and you're going to register, file the submission, and then before that in the morning they file submission and they get the patent, and you lost the competition. So you need to think that as well. Are there other technologies that will help or make your target obsolete? What are the tissues is your target expressed in? So you need to think about the target tissues as well. So like example, again, COVID-19, say tomorrow, if the medicine comes out or the vaccine comes out, you know that this gonna work or target your lungs, and that will help you to get better from the virus, right? However, same time, you need to think whether the vaccine or the medicine, whether it's expressed in any other organs as well. So what happens is you try to say survive from the virus. It kind of helps your lungs, but you don't want it fails your liver, right? So that's what is important, whether it's expressed rightly in the various tissues. Is a selected indication the best one for this target? Is there a simple clinical experiment that can validate your target? So now, simple kind of example here is what is the unmet need. So healthy lung, like COPD, which is one of the disease, which is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Healthy lung looks like on the left side, and the right side you can see the COPD lung. So what is COPD? So it's chronic bronchitis, lung destruction. It happens. Main symptoms of COPD is increased effort to breathe, chronic cough, increased mucus production. So now what happens is if patient is already having COPD or any lung condition, and if they get affected with COVID-19, it's really hard for them to survive because the lungs is already weak, and that's the reason all the WHO and all the scientific industries, they're saying the people who are already having underlying conditions need to be very safe. So treatments control the symptoms and control the progression of the disease. The risk factors. Now, cigarette smoking is one of the kind of huge. Tobacco, also pollution, indoor, outdoor, and occupational exposure. These are the risk factors. Genetic factors, differences in susceptibility of smokers to develop COPD. And GSK has pioneered genetic studies in COPD, and more than now kind of, this is a little bit old, but 35 to 40 papers already been published by GSK colleagues. So 1990, you can see the list on the left-hand side. COPD was number 6 in the global health statistics, and 2020, it comes at number 3. So statistics, again, maths and statistics would be helpful here. Now, current animal research in GSK. So this is on the right when you see in the green chart, where the recent March 2020, during the lockdown, they have in UK, they have done this survey where they say whether the use of animals in scientific research is kind of justifiable, and if there is animal issues anywhere with the problems, people agreed with 75% and disagreed 25%. So there is a statement on animal work that animal studies are undertaken only when there are no validated non-animal alternatives. So zoology is again helpful. Now 3 R's. I was talking about replacement, reduction, and refinement. This is 3R. So you replace the methods. If you can't do without animals, you try to replace and don't use the animals at all. If there are computer models available, like artificial intelligence, which helps a lot now at the current market. We do machine learning and deep learning. Reduction. So you need to apply the strategy to reduce the animals. So if you can use only 10 animals, then why to use 20? So get maximum out from those animals. And refine the procedures, like lab procedures. Minimize the pain and distress, and enhance the welfare. So again, safety assessments. These are various fields in the safety assessment. It's got the pathology, it's got the toxicology, it's got the pharmacology, clinical pathology, IPT is investigative toxicology, and then regulatory submission. So histopathology. So histopathology is ultimately you examining the tissues, putting in the wax flog, and then you stain those slides. And you can see on the left-hand side, you can see all these tissues, the pathobiology of these tissues. Now stains. You can do staining with various stains available, and that's helpful to find out whether the particular tissue has a problem. Just looking at the color, the pathologist will find out what's happening with the tissue. So if the tissue has got more fat, or there is a bacteria, there is a virus, there is a microorganisms, or any pathobiology issues that can be seen with the staining. These are the various auto stainers available. Electron microscopy. People must have heard about this. So you can zoom in up to the mitochondria and all the cell organelles level, and you can figure it out. If there is any issue up to that magnification, that cell is affected. So there is issues with the energy problem or the endoplasmic reticulum or something else. So that's helpful. Imaging, which is digital pathology. So I'm currently leading the digital pathology, and that's where there are a lot of technology is in use. So you can see on the left hand side the tissues. So you kind of get the tissues, stain the tissues, scan the tissues, and with the computer algorithms like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning, you try to quantify the tissues and get the data. So again, you need the statistics, maths with biology here to understand, and this will help the pathologists who are working on microscopes, who can do the qualitative assessment. This data will helpful to them to give more robust diagnostic. Toxicology, there are various ways they do toxicology studies. So toxicology is mainly to find out whether your molecule or the drug is toxic, is dangerous, or whether it's safe to the humans. So they do a lot of studies like embryo fetal. So they try to do the studies in the embryos just to try from that stage. Carcinogenicity with cancer, if there is a long-term effect, to see whether the drug is safe. 28-day tox studies, which generally they do in the rats, mice, dogs. And then they, as mentioned, they further file this. Forensic toxicology, forensic sciences, which Madam did mention that about the oncology is one of the really kind of pioneer in this field. So that's again like with the criminology and find out. So biology. So now we can understand biology is helpful at what level. So next, discovery, toxicology, and clinical. So this is again from the Chevron. So you have the candidate selected. Toxicology, you try on the toxicology. So there are various jigsaw puzzles here where you can see toxicokinetics, animal mass balance, protein binding, distribution, human metabolism. So this, all the words, again, it comes from the biology. You find out these are the areas. So you can specialize in these areas. You can go further and study a lot in these particular areas to figure it out what happens in the medicine development. And you join together, and at the end you find out that whether the drug is effective and it's safe to go into the clinic. Okay, so this slide is my slide towards what you can do with a biology degree. There are a lot of options, means, and as I mentioned, now the social media, especially webinars and then long distancing studies, there is no borders. So even though you live in India, UK, South Africa, USA, anywhere in the world, you can do whatever you want. And believe yourself, have the passion to do that, and have the vision, as I said. So these are the various areas which I know. There will be more where, so you can be a research scientist, you can go into pharmacology, be biologist, ecologist, biotechnology. You can go into educations, research, healthcare. So healthcare is again, it's a big thing. Public health, environmental conservation. You can go into the communication, publishing, government as well. So government and media, industry, business, because they need biologists. You can be a science writer. And as I mentioned, forensic science is always another field which your professors will be able to tell you more. And we're gonna have Dr. Neha presenting as well through forensic on the forensic scientists. So that's me. This is my last slide, and this is me, Hitesh. It means if anyone want to reach out, they can register and they can send their queries via email or LinkedIn. If you have any issues or find out anything about the career or with science. And this is important slide. I would like to acknowledge once again, thank you very much. This is great initiative, ma'am, Dr. Ranjana. You have done fantastic with your team. Webinar opportunities are really important since we are already doing with various universities and colleges here as well. So this is the way to go. And as a great leader, VC sir, great support from your side to the team as well. Dr. Archana, thank you again for considering me suitable to present here. And my fellow speaker colleagues whom I met yesterday, Dr. Kesu, Dr. Milan, Dr. Tushar, Dr. Neha, and all other coordinators, Dr. Chandresh, Dr. Hiten, Dr. M.F. Taduk. Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for attending this webinar. Stay safe and be healthy. Over to you, Dr. Archana.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dave, for your very important and informative address for the students, and it will be really very important for all of us to know how a very patient career full of dedication is required for a science student. And this is also true that science has the humanitarian aspect also. When unmet need comes, how people work together without any boundaries and just for the social welfare. So all community becomes one at that time. So all the good aspects, very important aspects you have covered, and really need to see path beyond classroom that you have tried to show very well to the students. And I hope they will be motivated and they will think for the new opportunities in their fields in future. And they will really work with a passion and vision to make their career. Thank you very much for your informative and very inspiring address, Mr. Ravi.
Okay. Thank you, madam.
बंद करो. Now it is question answer time. I request participants to ask their questions. If there is any question, any query, you can type in the chat box.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I think someone said hello. So is someone trying to ask question?
Yes, Chandresh sir.
Yeah, actually, students are still not able to summarize their queries. They must have so much to ask, but they need some time to summarize. But by the time, I would like to ask Mr. Dave that how a student after completing graduation can see their career in the pharmaceutical companies. Is there any scope for a job in pharmaceuticals just after graduation, or they must have pursuing research or post-graduation?
Okay, it's a great question, and I did cover a little bit of that. Again, passion and vision is important. So if someone wants to do career in pharmaceutical, I think it's not the time you finish your graduation and start looking in. You need to prepare yourself before graduation. So even though the students, what my advice would be, even though you are first year, second year, or third year students, try to make sure you have the vision in mind, what you want to do as per your passion, and try to look around, because there are pharmaceutical companies. Of course, now from last 3 months we have seen the science is back in the business. Pharmaceutical companies are hiring. A lot of farmers are coming in India. They are developing, and they are growing their horizon. So it's and now I think I can see 20 years back or 22 years back when we did studies, sir. It was really hard for us to get the easy information or the guide. But now with the social media, there is no boundaries, so they can try for going into which career they want. They try to get the coaches or the professors to help them, to guide them, and then that's the way they can make their path very clear. And there are a lot of opportunities, like now we are seeing these webinars, but there are opportunities like conferences, various conferences. So students can go to those conferences. They can talk with the pharmaceutical counters. There are a lot of research R&Ds and the pharmaceuticals biotechnology companies. They come into these conferences, so they can always show their interest. They can be in touch with them. There are their websites. They have the forums as well, some of the forums, so they can connect. They can connect to this professional bodies as well, like Society of Toxicology. So one of the toxicology society we have in India as well. There are a few toxicology societies, pathology societies. So similar, like try to be connected. And if you are confused, as I said again, and we all have seen yesterday's incident of Sushant Singh, what I feel is it's important everyone to have the mental health strong, and same time, if they are struggling, get the buddy, get the guide, get your professor, get the help. Don't just think within yourself. And for students, it's really important. Anyone can make any good career. It's not a big deal. People are hiring, and nowadays the HR and all the companies, they are very strong. They have the laws in place. It's not easy. It's very transparent. So it's not easy for them to do the corruptions and stuff which used to happen 50 years ago. Now it's not the case. If you are talented, if you have the vision, if you are on the right path, you will get your journey started. That's my advice, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. One more query from your answer. I would like to ask that which type of job profile students should dream after graduation? Say, for example, some students are aiming to get job into pharmaceuticals just after graduation. So, which kind of job profile will they will be given, and what are the scopes of job profile after completion of post graduation and after completion of some research? Say, for example, MPhil or PhD. So, what kind of job profiles are available at different level of education in pharmaceutical companies?
Okay. I think it's a great question. Again, means for students, if you're finishing BSc or if you're finishing any graduation in the biological sciences, I think first step, as I mentioned, you need to do your homework. So within the years, don't wait until you have the degree, because that's too late. So you need to think, either you are in first year or second year, start preparing yourself from there. The life is not finished. If once you have done 12th, and you thought, oh, now it's a relaxed time, it's a college. It's not like that. You have your time, enjoy college, but however, take care, take control of your career, because that's in your hand, right? The professors, guides, teachers, they all are there to help you. They're not gonna place you in the job. It's up to you to get the job. So that's the reason. What I still say, the initial jobs would be after graduation would be find out whether pharma or research or the manufacturing they're hiring, or marketing. Depends on passion. If you have passion in marketing, that's good as well, because you're selling medicines to the doctors. You need to have knowledge of the biology. Otherwise, there's no point being kind of market. So my point is, or the advice is here, is students need to think from the day one what they want to do. Don't leave until you get the degree, until the late. And third thing is, if you are graduate, of course, there are technician level jobs available where you get initial experience and then you can move on. That's one thing. Second thing, of course, sacrifice is important. Sometimes what happens is build the right career. You need to move out from your comfort zone. So just imagine if you are living in Junagadh, the opportunities might be 3 4 companies 5 companies, right? So you might need to kind of move out as well. That might require some point of time. So it depends what you are choosing. And that's the reason you need to have your vision clear, you need to have your passion clear, and that's how you kind of take your first step.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Thank you.
uh, I have one question. Is there any opportunity or is there any program, particularly in companies, pharmaceutical companies, for students, like internship or summer training program or winter training program kind of programs in your
I
company
think
or any other pharmaceutical company?
yes, I remembered. If I talk about, means at the moment, if I talk about UK GSK, we have fantastic industrial placement student scheme. So I'm one of the science ambassador, and I kind of with the STEMnet, I do the coaching with the students. So what we do is the students, while they are doing education, they come here and work and they finish their assignment in the industry. So it's industrial placement for 6 months 1 year program, and they finish that, they get the certificate, they get the experience, they go back to college, finish their degree, and that helps them to go further. So what I suggest, I think Gujarat University, I remembered when I was in Torrent Pharma, we had tied up with Gujarat University, and we had that kind of program as well, where we collaborating with Gujarat University with Torrent Pharma, and we try to have the students coming in for a small project or visit, or we host them and they see what's going on. So that's the first level. And then second option was, what we had is, we tried to go to university as well, Torrent Pharma, for the animal house. So Gujarat University, as Dr. Archana, you might know, we had fantastic animal house facility, right? So we had that collaboration, academic collaboration. So academic industry collaborations are important, and that's the reason I think lots of universities, and as Honorable VC sir, he mentioned as well, that universities trying to kind of go and work with the industries, and they and the government, they are giving a lot of programs now. They are providing and investing money into it. So I think for students, what I feel is, try to be connected and make sure you follow the guidance from the professors, from the industry coaches, or from the colleagues, from your friends, or from social media. There are a lot of options. So use in the right way, and you will find out. આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં કહે ને, ચોટી બાંધીને બેસી જવાનું, that's it. છોડે કોણ? Right? I hope this helps.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. It is
One
really
more question we
needful.
have from our viewer on YouTube Live. She wants to ask whether studying in India or studying in abroad has any effect on getting a career in pharmaceuticals.
Okay, so the first part I didn't hear. Was it studying in India, she mentioned,
Yeah, right now I
or
think
studying in abroad?
she's studying in India.
Okay, means you have seen my second slide, right? I'm Indian graduate. I did my masters there. I'm kind of distancing. I'm doing a PhD as well now. So there are no boundaries. I said again and again, education doesn't have boundary, and social media and this all technology kind of got us together, and we are one group. So that's how, what I feel is, there is no boundaries. So people can make career anywhere in the world, anywhere. That's not at all any issue. The only thing is, you need to have the vision and then path. So you need to find out the path. So if someone wants to go and study in or work in US, just imagine they need to think about what's the right route to go in US, and on whether it's a study route or they're going to go on any particular scientific conference or presenting or doing some projects there. And how you introduce yourself is take care of your career. I can imagine, because I was 22 years ago, I was there in your place, and everything was blank, right? I didn't know where to go. So frankly speaking, what I say is take care of your career, have the control of your career. If you are doing projects in your college, try to present those projects, try to control that particular paper, try to publish poster, that's in your control. So each student need to think about what's in their control. So first is work hard, right? Do projects and or do studies, whatever you're doing in your college. Try to get that published, do the poster preparation, try to see if it's worthy to go on paper in the journals and stuff. That you can do during academics, you don't need job for that. And then after that, of course, those things goes on your CV, which is really helpful. And that way you can go anywhere in the world, wherever you want to go. So this is just a simple steps or guide how they can take a kind of first step.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else?
Nothing from the viewers. Dr. Archana, please.
Yes. So I think it is almost 5:20. We cross our time actually. So due to time constraint, uh, we are now closing our talk today. And I again would like to thank you all the participants, faculty members, principal ma'am, and especially VC sir, for your participation and for being present in the first day talk. Uh, so again, we will meet tomorrow at the same place, on same uh, platform, Google Meet, at 4
Participants will
o'clock.
get it tomorrow again.
Sir, I could not hear your voice.
Participants will get updated link for Google Meet as well as YouTube Live tomorrow on their registered email.
Yeah, as we sent today, we will send you the link for registration. I mean, not registration, but link for joining the meet, and YouTube link also will be shared tomorrow in the morning with all the registered participants. So till that, thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
કેટલા હતા ખબર છે? 450 નું રજીસ્ટ્રેશન થયું.